What's going on? There's something different here. Is it the
Yeah.
hair? Is it the hair?
Yes, it's grown another eighth of an inch.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Popcorn and Coffee. We're here in a new set. Look at this. Isn't this incredible?
This is amazing.
Colin put this together for us. Who, I don't know if I'll just go ahead and share, isn't on camera at this point anymore because of the changes. We're still in the middle of changes, but he is on mic. Colin,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm doing good. There's only so many cameras available right now, but I'll be back eventually.
We're gonna make it work.
Yeah,
Jay, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
These chairs are comfy.
Yes. We got nice new.
We got new cups. The Jawa's got a permanent resting place.
Yeah,
Resting place. He's still
He now rests in peace.
He's got a place. He's got his place.
We'll get him a coffin.
So I don't even know what to talk about because this is all so new and so different. Like,
kind of
look, we have
podcast do we
blue
have?
lights and we have.
What do we do on this?
What do we do?
podcast?
We talk about structural design.
Yes, that's right. And these walls, Colin went to the redwoods and cut these down.
Anyways, we got some trailers. Let's just jump right into it, I guess.
Okay.
You're looking very snazzy today, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Trailers. Black Panther trailer. Just do the other one with it, the Mario trailer.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about those two and then we talk about the other one.
Okay.
Did you watch them?
No.
Oh gosh. Okay. Discussion over. I
Yeah.
watched the Black Panther one.
Yeah.
I'm still excited about it. I'm still pumped. Comes out in November, so we'll see what happens.
Did it look less like a James Cameron film, this trailer, compared to the
They're
original?
very similar. There is some. It's like between Avatar 2, Black Panther, and that movie. What was it called? It's got Viola Davis and it just came out. Woman King.
Okay.
Woman King is what it was, and it's about a tribe in Africa. And
Okay.
so it's very Black Panther-esque.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are actually confusing the trailers. I'm like, I don't think it's a coincidence they kind of came out at the same time. But no, I'm excited for it. I guess there was an article that had come out and I think it was Ryan Coogler who was saying you're going to be surprised at who the Black Panther is in this. Like almost it's not who you think it is. So that's exciting.
You don't think they use like the face swap stuff?
I think it's Chadwick Boseman too. Still.
I mean,
No, it's not.
You don't think they did? Okay.
No, they released in this trailer, there's a lot more footage of the actual Black Panther.
Okay.
And you can tell it's a woman.
Oh,
A lot leaner, you can tell it's a different person. And a lot of people were always just, okay, was it Shuri who was his sister, or is it the other woman who was his girlfriend, I
Mhm.
guess? Is it one of the two of them? It may not be either one of them.
What's who's the bald lady where's the
The bald lady.
The
Oh,
guard lady.
yeah.
that would be cool. The Walking Dead girl.
Yeah.
Oh, what is her name? Oh, that would be really
That would be-
could I would
could
love
see
to
that.
see that.
Yeah, I like her character and she's
very
already
well
a
established.
warrior.
Absolutely. You just got me all sorts of pumped. That would be really cool.
That would be an interesting take on it.
Yeah,
This
because
movie-
her. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But I am going to.
Yeah.
Her and Black Panther had a really close relationship. Her and
Yeah.
T'Challa in the other movies.
Yeah.
They were always together because it was
right.
his guard. You know,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And this one comes out when November.
It's the first or second week.
Okay.
I want to say the 11th, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just about a month away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm pumped about.
Nice.
Should have put M'Baku in there.
Oh, he's definitely in there.
No, as the Panther.
Oh, he would just be gigantic.
They'd have to
It
make,
wouldn't fit.
they'd have to make him a new custom suit just
It-
because he's so huge.
But he's the white gorilla
Yeah.
from the comics, which is its own character.
Yeah, it's
they
its
didn't
own
do
entity.
anything with that in the movie, but
Yeah.
what if it's Martin Freeman? That would be funny.
There is so much outrage.
There would.
You whitewashed our guy.
Anyways,
Speaking of whitewash, I mean, look at this guy. He's got a white.
yeah, Vera bought me this a couple
Yeah.
Christmases ago.
Very white.
When I get a chance to rock the all white, I try to, but
We got a little ebony and ivory thing going on here.
nice.
That is true. You got the black turtleneck on.
Straight up zebra.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the Super Mario trailer? I know you didn't see it. I didn't watch it either.
I have no thoughts on it. I
Yeah.
can't.
I don't care.
I saw a picture of it. And the
It looks
animation,
visually good.
the animation looked better than I thought it would. I thought it would be some like Nintendo 64.
It was really kind of Wreck-It Ralph
Yeah.
style.
Did I send you guys that reel of that what the Super Mario might look like?
Oh,
Or was it just you?
It might have just been him because I don't remember getting a reel from you.
I put.
Mario's
It was
like,
two guys.
Yeah, it was some guy is Luigi
Mhm.
and the other one was Mario. Mario's like dying, and Luigi sees this little like question mark block up in the tree, and he goes up to try to get it. It's just
It was really funny. Though.
yeah. It was,
Anyway, what are you gonna do? What do you think, Chris Pratt? The controversy is over Chris Pratt being the guy. You know, having the Italian accent.
because he's not Italian.
I don't know. Where do we land on? Is Chris Pratt doing too much?
Yeah,
You think so?
I think he is.
He's kind of everywhere in everything.
He's almost like the modern day like Harrison Ford back in the 80s and stuff, where in 90s Harrison Ford was in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a lot.
It seems like Hollywood kind of does that with a couple actors, and they're just like, well,
Yeah.
if we want to make money, we have to get Leonardo DiCaprio, or we have to get in,
Yeah.
It's just like, but he doesn't have to do anything. And out of all the Chris's, he's not even one of the better actors out of that group. I don't consider Chris Pratt a phenomenal actor. I think he does one thing, and he does that one thing really well. He's
Who-
Star-Lord and
what-
everything.
What Chris Pratt or what Chris is the better Chris?
I think Chris Evans is a better actor.
Ooh,
You don't think so?
No,
Of Pratt, Evans, and Hemsworth.
I would say
Pine.
Pine?
Chris Pine, but he's not in the
He's not in the MCU. No, he's not in the
So
MCU.
just the MCU Chris's?
Yeah, I would say Hemsworth is the best out of those three.
Actor?
Yeah,
Okay, for what? Give me an example.
I
Though.
don't know about that.
he played in. He was in. He can do comedy. He does dramas and stuff.
Name one.
Well, he was in.
And I know one, but I don't want to say it because then I'm giving you ammo.
He was
Chris
in.
Evans is definitely the best actor out of that group
No,
because he can do action, he can do comedy, he can do satire, he can do drama. Gifted, that's a great movie.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I feel like his diversity is a little stronger across the spectrum than Hemsworth.
Do you think Chris Hemsworth could play another comic book character?
Other than Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because Chris Evans has played two and doesn't just easily get confused between the two. Like, they're two completely different characters, and he plays both of them really well. Chris Evans is definitely the best actor.
I feel like you could write a character for any of them and they could all do a different one.
I don't think Chris Pratt can, personally.
I think he could.
I think Chris Pratt could probably play any of like the kind of goofy characters in the MCU, like
Let's
an
see.
Ant-Man.
Any of the goofy ones, yeah. That's what I think his shtick is, though. I don't think he can do serious acting. Chris Pratt.
Did you watch Jurassic World?
Yeah, I did, actually. All of them. But name a drama he was in that was, like, compelling and just gripping.
Well, what about that Terminalist?
Yeah, he said he was good in that.
I mean, he was good, but he was still his
Is he still that kind of guy?
He's still, I'm gonna be the action hero and make the joke kind of.
Passengers was pretty good. Moneyball?
Moneyball. That doesn't count. He's barely in that movie.
Doesn't
I'll give you
matter.
Passengers. Even though I don't think that's a great movie either. He did a good job on that one. So they're all three the same. That's what we come to. The conclusion we come to is Chris Pine's the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
That I agree with.
Which I don't know if I agree with that either. Oh, we skipped one of the movie trailers. You sent me that other trailer. The David Harbour one.
Oh, yeah. The Violent Night.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
I watched it.
Oh
too.
yeah, well yeah. That's when I sent it to you. I was just like, "What is this? I didn't even know this movie thing was this was a thing."
It
This is
looks awesome,
Yeah,
but it also looks like David Harbour. See, here's another character.
yeah,
Where like I'm gonna be Hopper from Stranger Things, but in a Santa suit.
yeah.
Is that really what it is?
That's straight up. It's like, but what is it like? There's a guy and a man and a wife, and they have a daughter,
Yeah.
and then they're like millionaires. Somebody comes to steal all the money and keeps them as hostages, and the little girl makes a wish for Santa for Christmas because it's on Christmas. So Santa's out doing his thing, and her wish, her gift is that they just get saved. So he goes into straight, just like
yeah.
killer Santa mode.
Santa's just rogue assassin type.
Yeah, punching people.
And he's just big. And
throwing
he's,
it. Yeah. Yeah. The real Saint Nicholas did at the Council of Dork. He did slap a heretic, so probably pretty accurate.
And I can get behind slapping heretics.
No, I definitely will probably watch. Not
Definitely will probably.
Definitely, maybe.
I will definitely watch that. I will definitely watch this movie. Like it,
I'll watch it. Yeah.
it's probably gonna be fun. Maybe a little Die Hardish. I don't know. It's around Christmas time.
That would be fun. Get another Die Hard type movie.
Yeah.
It's just action.
Yeah.
Action Christmas.
Yeah.
What's another good action Christmas movie?
Die Hard.
Outside of those two.
Batman Returns.
Oh gosh. Oh no. I would love to do a commentary on that.
No.
You wouldn't sit in this room in these comfy chairs and do a commentary on that? Because it's not like you're actually watching it.
That's true.
You're just making fun of it the whole time.
Yeah.
Do one of those riff tracks type things.
Oh yeah.
Just tear it apart. And
Yeah. It's muted, subtitles are on, and you're just sitting here ripping it to shreds.
Yeah, I would do that. Okay.
Yeah, those are fun.
You just, yeah. What was number? Can you scroll up on that a little bit, or did we already?
You covered it.
Oh, did we? Okay, so 4 was the next one.
Yeah.
What do you think of that news that Keanu Reeves has come out? And I don't know if it was the interviewer was like, if you could play anybody in the MCU, who would you play? Or if it was more him saying, I would like throw me in the ring to do this.
That's interesting. I could see it. I
We didn't
honestly
even
could-
tell everybody what we're talking about.
Oh.
Keanu Reeves has said that he'd like to play Ghost Rider in the MCU.
That's
I think that's awesome.
yeah, that's cool.
I would completely.
I would personally like to see him and David A.R. White try to fight it out and see who gets the role.
I don't think we want that.
No. I mean, Keanu's obviously going to win.
Yeah, I'm all for Keanu Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
I would really like it, but you'd have to keep the other guy. So the MCU already has a Ghost Rider, and it's not Nicolas Cage because
Okay.
those are separate. But I can't remember his name. He was in Terminator: Dark Fate. The Hispanic actor.
Okay.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But he plays Ghost Rider, but he drives a Mustang and the car catches on fire. No, yeah, that's what it was. He drives a hot rod. He doesn't drive a motorcycle like the Nicolas Cage version.
Mhm.
I say you have both of them in the MCU because
That'd
you
be
can have
cool.
2 Ghost Riders.
Yeah, it would be an interesting thing to do too, because they haven't done the multiple character thing
No,
for more than just like a split scene.
yeah. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Plus, bring the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider into it anyway. Because he's still just been on TV. He hasn't been in the movie yet. So
Mhm.
Legions of Ghost Riders.
Legions. Heck yeah. Like, because did you ever watch those movies?
Legion?
No, the Ghost Rider movies.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness, you never seen the Ghost Rider movies?
No.
It's got Sam Elliott, and he's a Ghost Rider, but he rides a horse, and the horse catches on fire.
Ugh.
Or he was the devil in that movie. I don't remember. That's the Ghost Rider story. Like he sells his soul to Satan to save his brother or something.
Tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time. Like the famous jazz musician. What was his name? I think that was real though.
I thought it was the fiddle guy.
The fiddle guy?
Yeah. Charlie Daniels, the devil went down to Georgia, does the devil went down to Georgia. Yeah.
He
Or
sold
the
his
devil
soul.
went.
The devil goes down to Georgia? I know that's a
Isn't that
song.
the name of the song?
The devil went down to Georgia.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, he was looking for a soul to steal. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's Charlie Daniels. Yeah.
did he do it for real?
Charlie Daniels didn't. I don't think so. Maybe.
No, he wrote a song about
Yeah.
the whole event.
Yeah, the whole thing that happened. There is a
And it
movie,
wasn't autobiographical?
not that I'm aware of.
Not that I know of.
There is a great movie though about that. It's called Crossroads. It's got Ralph Macchio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a cool movie. It's just fun.
But it's about him selling the soul to the devil?
No, so a guy,
Ralph Macchio sells his soul to the devil?
no, he's a guitar player,
Wax on, wax off.
and a guy, an old blues player, sold his soul to the devil years ago, and he's in a nursing home. He's gonna die. He wants to go and try to get his soul back. And
This is like what dreams may come with
So-
Robin Williams.
Ralph Macchio steals this, like robs this nursing home, takes this guy with him.
He kidnaps him?
Yeah, to go to Georgia. 'Cause he
Elder
wants to-
nap.
Huh?
He elder naps him.
He elder naps him.
Yeah.
Because Ralph Macchio wants to learn to play the blues.
Okay.
And so he takes this guy. This guy's like, you got to go down to Georgia and be on the road if you want to learn to play the blues. Well, the guy wants him to
Take him there.
take him there so he can.
Does he
meet the
fight the devil?
So the devil's like, no,
Spoiler
I'm not going to do
spoiler
it.
alert
Yeah.
for this 80s movie.
The devil's like, I'm not going to do that. So
Of course he's not.
Ralph Macchio says, I'll battle your guitarist, which is Steve Vai.
Steve Vai.
And so him and Steve Vai and Ralph Macchio like do this like guitar duel and stuff at the end to get for this guy's soul. Ralph Macchio's doing it to get so the guy will get his soul back. And
Does good triumph over evil?
oh yeah,
Oh, cool.
but the cool thing about that movie is the guitar solo that Ralph Macchio plays in it. He actually learned how to play it on the guitar and actually played it. Like he learned that thing on the specific thing on the guitar and actually played it in the scene.
That is impressive.
That's yeah. But it's a really cool movie. It's slow, but it's just it's cool.
Man.
I think you watched it with us.
I think so.
That sounds exciting, though.
Yeah.
I was gripped by what
Yeah.
you were telling me. That wasn't even sarcasm.
But
For real, though.
I forgot how we got there. I don't know.
How, I don't know, but
it was Sam Elliott was Satan.
that's,
Oh, yeah.
Elliott was Satan. And then
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus 2 is,
also Satan.
is apparently, if you watch it, there's a chance
They're casting spells
they're casting spells into your
and
home.
curses on you. You're gonna.
In that podcast you had recommended to me, they had talked about an instance of a exorcism that was televised and stuff like that happening to people who watched it.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I mean, I get where they're coming from,
Yeah.
whether it's all actually grounded in truth or not. But
Yeah.
There's it's an interesting thing to bring up, and I get, again, Christians being skeptical and leery of this kind of content. 100%.
Yeah.
Always should. Bad company corrupts good morals. We get it,
Yeah.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
I did watch it. Sorry, mom from Texas. They definitely portrayed witchcraft in that movie to be very similar to just like they have just superhero powers.
Mm-hmm.
They were just casting Jedi like lightning and force fields to protect themselves from said lightning, and that was really like it.
Mm-hmm.
There was the other kinds of witchcraft stuff in there of like, okay, well, I need his head and all this other stuff for the pot or whatever. That seems to me like clickbait. Don't watch it or demons are going to fly out your TV into your living room kind of stuff. Like, just say, hey, here's in the Bible why it says we should stay away from this. Let's just stay away from it, as opposed to that.
And especially, I mean, you don't want your kids to watch it because it intrigues them. You run the risk of them getting intrigued by it.
Which is definitely harmful.
And and especially if they're not saved, if your kids haven't come to Christ yet and stuff, and you're trying to raise them that, it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But Satan's not omnipotent.
Absolutely not.
He cannot reach through the TV screen in that sense. Like he's not, I don't know.
I have done zero research on the matter. You were talking about something with exorcisms. I don't know.
It was just a podcast about one particular event where exorcism or like a possession like activity spiked after an exorcism was televised.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. But you see, and when you put it in that way, like, I can definitely agree with like, okay, well, if you're putting this stuff out there, you're building people's intrigue in this. No different than the 107th Dahmer series that we have.
There's like 50,000 serial killers.
You're crossing the line from just like putting information out there to glorifying it in a way that's like, okay, it's starting to get unhealthy how much we like watching this, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just when a documentary would do it. Give us one documentary about Ted Bundy and, you know, just tell us the story, lay the whole story out there, you know, biased, unbiased, be what it may, and then just leave it.
There's definitely in our culture right now, and I'm in on like I like this too. I enjoy the true crime and stuff has become very popular in our culture nowadays. It's and I enjoy listening to true. I listen to true crime podcasts all the time, but I do notice like, and I go through different spurts and stuff where I'll listen to it a lot for like a week or 2 weeks, and I'll notice in those times I start to get real depressed. I start to like,
definitely,
it really brings you down and stuff. So, is it wrong to listen to true crime? No, I think maybe monitoring and balancing that out with, okay, are you reading your Bible? Are you listening to other sermons and stuff like that as well?
Listen to one, listen to a sermon.
Yeah.
Listen to something else, listen to,
Yeah. Because it is intriguing and stuff. I mean, but yeah, you just balance.
But do I personally think that like just a real witch, a fake witch can just Alakazam you through a TV? No, I personally don't think so.
No.
Granted, the Bible says guard your hearts and minds so that, you know, you won't be led astray. That's watching TV. That's listening to music. That's the people you hang out with. It's all of those things.
Books you read.
The books you read. The books.
Just gotta eat them.
Children love the books.
So I mean, let's not give Satan more power than he really truly has,
Right.
like you said.
Yeah.
And that's a scare tactic. It's a scare tactic.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. But don't let your kids watch it. There's also a lot of homosexual and transgender things in Hocus Pocus 2 that are just as evil as witchcraft. Yeah. There is a scene where, because the town loves these witches, they are having a talent show for people to dress up as said witches. But it's not just a talent show. It is strictly a drag show. So it's all men dressing up like these women.
Oh, wow. Well,
yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of homosexual stuff.
Oh, no.
Billy.
Disclaimer. Can we just get a stamp? Colin, you got an edit like a
Billy Eichner. Eichner. I don't care.
It's German.
Comes out against homophobic weirdos who won't see Bros. He tweeted, he says, everyone who isn't a homophobic weirdo should go see Bros tonight. You will have a blast. And it is special and uniquely powerful to see this particular story on the big screen, especially for queer folks who don't get this opportunity often. I love this movie so much. Go Bros. So he slaps people who don't, he's calling people homophobic who won't go see this movie because they're not gay. And they
he told us not to go watch it.
Yeah. And then he's saying, basically, well, especially queer folks should be the ones that go see this because it's
for them.
It's for them.
It's pretty much geared at them.
Yeah. So
yeah. If I'm
pick a side.
If I'm gonna make Finding Nemo 2, who's that geared towards? Typically children.
Yeah.
Or people who love the original.
Right.
If I'm gonna make a homosexual rom-com, who's that geared towards? Homosexuals.
Yeah.
But then he comes out after.
Comes
out. No, he already did that. He discusses afterward that the movie flopped, and it did. It came out in over 3,000 theaters. People have done the math on it. Each theater made about $1,300 to $1,500. So not very many people seen this movie at all. It flopped. Yeah. He came out afterward. He already came out.
Just so on the nose.
Did it work a second time? That's all I'm asking. He discussed afterward that it flopped because heterosexuals didn't go see the movie. So he blamed us. Before it came out, he said, unless you are, everyone who isn't a homophobic weirdo should go see it.
Yeah.
Afterward, blamed us for not going and watching it.
Oh.
You suck on all regards. You directed your movie. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. Billy Eichner. We don't care.
And the funny thing is like these types of comedies do not tend to do well in theaters.
Ever.
You look at, there was a movie with Zac Efron and Levine.
Adam?
No,
Levine?
not Adam Levine.
Maroon 5?
No,
Yeah, I know.
the guy from Pitch Perfect.
Yep.
There was a movie with
Oh.
them where they go to this Bill and Ted. No, not Bill and Ted.
No, it was something wedding.
Yeah.
It's a wedding movie.
They find wedding dates. Mike and
Ted.
Mike.
Mike and Bill. I
Ted
don't
and
know.
Mike. They need wedding dates. And
It's the Aubrey Plaza.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that one didn't do well in theaters either. What was that party one that came out back in like 2011? 21 and over.
Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Neighbors 2.
Well, I don't know how Neighbors.
A
did in theaters.
Hitchhiker's
I don't
Guide to the
remember that.
Galaxy.
Come on, man. It's Martin Freeman.
Sorry.
But no, these types of comedies don't do well in theaters because they're nasty. They are, I mean, obviously homosexual. The crowd, this one is geared towards that, but the other ones, like, they're just so nasty and raunchy, nobody wants to go and see them.
Okay. Even separate it from that and look at it from the perspective of what 10 things I hate about you, which is Matthew McConaughey and Kate Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Kate Winslet?
No. Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn.
Kate Middleton.
Oh my goodness. Why do you keep naming British people?
Is that Catherine Hahn?
No. No, she doesn't she has a completely different last name. What is her name? I'm so sad. Okay, anyways. Who are these movies directed at? They're directed at women.
Mm-hmm.
Rom-coms aren't for men.
Right.
Most of the time you have to drag men to a movie theater to watch a romantic comedy.
We saw men getting drugged into Magic Mike one time.
Oh, gosh.
That was bad. What was it? The
We were at
Spider-Man premiere?
the Amazing Spider-Man premiere, a midnight show.
Midnight show. Guys just getting drug in left and right. Just hordes.
They're for women.
Yes.
Men don't want to watch straight romantic comedies. Why? Who? Where in the world would you just expect straight men to walk into this movie and be like, yeah, I'm all about this.
Yeah.
I'm all about this. And not only that, it's not only raunchy, it's depravity
Yeah.
in the content. And then you're blaming us. And I'll end on just typically if the creators of the said content come out and blame people that their movie flopped and then they blame it on the audience, your movie sucked before it started.
Mm-hmm.
It's some James Cameron type move.
Yeah.
It's Elizabeth Banks did the same thing when she remade Charlie's Angels,
Yeah.
and she had brought Kristen Stewart in, and as soon as it flopped, she's like, well, because of misogyny, because of misogyny, this movie tanked. No, your story sucked, and the movie wasn't good.
Right. And
Make a good movie, people will show up.
Yeah.
Turning around and blaming the audience because they didn't spend money on your movie. That's the cheapest trick in the book. I hate that. I hate it.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the actors you get in, because that's going to cater to it. Because look at 21 Jump Street. Okay, let's go with that one. That one did really well in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum in that. People loved those guys when that movie came out. They were huge. Okay.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Yeah.
Rob Riggle also.
Rob Riggle.
Perfect example.
You had a great cast in that film to draw people in. 2, you made a movie that was based off an old 90s show starring Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't
Well-known
super popular, but
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
I don't know. I guess I don't really.
It might have
speak
had
to
a cult following.
Yeah. So you're bringing your cult following in from that, and then you're also bringing in your young group of kids our age at that time when that movie came out. I went to the theater and saw it. You got to see who you're catering to. And with the Charlie's Angels thing, nobody likes Kristen Stewart. Or not like...
I think that was at a period where definitely nobody liked her.
Yeah. So...
I think she's kind of resurged again. But
yeah, she's kind of head
she's
up
come
and
back.
down.
She did the Princess Diana thing.
Was Diaz in that?
That was the original Charlie's
That was
Angels.
the original.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was not the
Lucy-
original, but the original remake.
Yeah. Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz, and
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. And that one was directed though by Bill Murray.
Oh,
Was it really? I didn't know that. This one was directed by Elizabeth Banks.
Or I think
And it's bad.
maybe Lucy Liu directed it.
And the girl from the Aladdin movie was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I never watched it. All I know is when you come out and blame people for your moving flopping, shame.
yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Wow, those segued really nicely, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, really no rust to knock off on this one.
Yes.
not much rust, but a little bit of dried blood. This is the weirdest thing. So, Rust has resumed filming.
Or it's going to, right? No, yeah.
It's
It resumes.
related
Yeah.
It's resuming post the settlement between Alec Baldwin and
Hutchinson's.
the Hutchins family. Yeah. Over the death of, her name was, I typed it.
Helena?
Helen?
Helena.
Is it Helena?
Helena.
Helena?
The woman whom he killed.
Yeah.
And why isn't this movie being tanked?
That's what I don't understand. Why would you even want to go back and revisit trying to do this?
Because you do realize there's a scene where he has to pick up a gun.
They have to shoot that scene again.
That scene again.
They have to shoot it again.
Stop. Nope, not this one.
It's been in poor taste with the smoking gun jokes.
Yeah, I think this film just needs to be stopped, or at least rename it.
Name it what? WD-40?
A good one.
Thank you. Not to mention, not only that, it resumes, and then her husband, whose name is Matthew, becomes an executive producer on it.
That's the strange thing.
Isn't that weird?
Why is that a stipulation in the settlement?
Is it because he
a
just wants
producer?
more
Is he
control?
capable?
Yeah,
I'm assuming he has to be.
maybe.
He can't be like, my wife's a cinematographer and I'm a plumber. And now in this settlement, the plumber's like, but I want to be an unless it's
Maybe.
just for more money. Because it could
Maybe.
be.
Look at Shaq and his wife. Just because she's Shaq's wife doesn't mean she's going to be good at basketball.
That's very true.
She's like 4 foot tall. She's a
I'm assuming he
borderline.
works in the industry as well.
It's possible.
Unless this is like some kind of revenge thing where he's gonna.
Is he going to shoot Alec
gonna
Baldwin
shoot
on the
Alec
set of Rust? There better not be a real gun on that set anymore.
No.
Like,
They would stop making the movie and make a movie about that.
Yeah.
That's probably what it's going to become.
About the plot.
Oh my
To take him out.
goodness.
That's a more intriguing movie than whatever he's planning.
That will be a movie within the next 10 years. But this movie, I'm assuming he's just becoming an executive producer to maybe have more say, but to get more of the revenue. So from whatever it makes, he's going to make more money as an executive producer.
Might just be by title alone.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
people who have producer credits and they really don't have much role in.
I mean,
How
he
the
could have
movie's
easily
made.
though gotten. He could have easily just not had to be a producer on it and just been like, "No, I just want all the proceeds that you make from it. Here, come to me."
This movie's mine. I want to fist fight Alec Baldwin.
Do you think you could fight each Baldwin going from youngest to oldest?
No, you have to go oldest to youngest because I think the most scrappy is Steven, and he is the youngest.
You would want to go increasing difficulty or decreasing difficulty. So as you get more tired, the skill of the Baldwin decreases or increases.
Increases. I want
So
to
you
fight the
wanna-
easy ones first,
You wanna
and then
knock
get to
the
like
easy ones
boss
out.
status, the last one.
Yeah.
Like a video game.
Because what if, what if you don't have a chance? Like, what if you get knocked out of the first time? Then you still got Alec running around.
Who's the one who is killing people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, if you were to fight Steven, it would probably just be like this. He's sitting in a chair and you're sitting in a
Yeah.
chair and you're just talking.
Yeah.
And then whoever just leaves first.
Lots of verbal jousting.
Yes. Or silence.
Just seething glares looking at you.
That being said, they're probably lovely people. Also kind of strange and a little bit off-putting.
Just a little bit.
except Alec. He's the only one who just simply deserves to be in prison. You killed someone, man.
I don't know if he should be in prison for that. I definitely think that.
It just depends on what's the charge for involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah, because I do believe it was an accident. I think he was reckless with it, but
Okay, you're right. I'm simply basing my judgments off of everything he did post killing someone
Well,
that didn't seem very remorseful.
Because he's a bit of a scummy jerkwad,
Yes.
you would want to see him in prison, but
He's probably in a prison
he
of his
still
own mind.
gets due justice the same way everybody else should.
What's this Bill Skarsgård thing?
yeah. So Bill Skarsgård and Lily Rose Depp. I'm assuming that's Johnny Depp's daughter.
It is, and
It
she's
is.
becoming very popular off the back of the
Hey, good for her.
trial.
They got cast in Robert Eggers.
Right.
He's doing a Nosferatu movie. So they're going to be starring in that.
Which one's Bill? He's it? He's Pennywise?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
So he's
And
one of the younger
if
Skarsgård.
Nosferatu, if they aim it as a horror, he's perfect for it.
All the Skarsgårds are
And
perfect for
Lily
horror.
Rose Depp can look a little creepy at
Yeah,
times.
I mean, she gets it from her father. And I love
Exactly.
Johnny. So,
You apply enough white makeup.
yeah. Yep. Anyone can look creepy. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the Nosferatu story is creepy. So
Mhm.
it'll be
Mhm.
interesting to see what they go with it. I don't know if one's been made since the original.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I can't speak to it.
I'm not gonna lie, the only thing I really know is the SpongeBob reference
Yeah.
of Nosferatu. Nosferatu. That's about all I got on them.
Uh,
that is a great episode.
That was a good one. Back when SpongeBob used to be decent,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
palatable to a lacking intelligence child.
what's this last bit? Last bit of news.
So I don't know how old this is. I came across it the other day, and apparently at the Grammys, Ed Sheeran was walking around, and Lady Gaga asked him to go fetch her a drink because she mistook him for a waiter at the Grammys.
I can see that.
It's kind of funny. He
He has very good posture.
yeah, and he always wears those white shirts with the with like the black.
Yes. He's very waiter-like.
Yeah, he looks like a waiter.
And his disposition is he probably went and got her a drink.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Even though he didn't have to at all.
Yeah.
And he probably just ran with the mistake on her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Lady Gaga, what are you doing? Just be
Weird
aware of your
character.
surroundings. I mean, who's more well known, Ed Sheeran or Lady Gaga?
Gotta be Bread Sheeran.
You think so? It's got to be Ed.
Yeah.
Got to
I
be.
think at this point, yeah.
So
I mean,
don't.
If you go off of Spotify streams, at least.
yeah.
It's got to be him.
I mean,
so.
he's done work with Eminem, so
I think he might have the most viewed music video of all time.
Which is
one?
Shape of You.
Lego House. What was that Lego movie? Lego.
Yeah, Lego
That
House.
was a good one, but that's not.
That
the
was
one.
awesome.
Shape
First
of You
album.
was it?
That's the biggest one. And that was supposed to be a Rihanna song.
Really?
He wrote it for Rihanna. And then I think she didn't want to run with it, or he decided in the end to just keep it.
Huh.
That's interesting. How many of his songs did he write for other people who they didn't want to sing it?
I don't know.
Trying to picture her voice singing that song.
Listening to the instrumental of it, I could see it.
Yeah.
And they'd probably play it up a little more her style.
Mhm.
Yeah, the melody would have to be a little bit different, but
Yeah.
so going into our big segment of the day, and this is, I'll be honest with you, off the back of having gone to a restaurant and had a waitress. It was a woman, whatever. That's not relevant. And I was like, She did fine. She did well. You know, we have a large family, so that's hard. You know, and it's hard to tell how good they are at their jobs or not based off a little bit more of a chaotic situation because there's just a lot of us in our family. But I was like, what's the difference between a good waiter and like a great waiter? I don't know. I mean, do you have thoughts about what makes it? Because even it's like, okay, well, my waiter didn't show up and ask me if I needed a refill the entire time I was there, or my waiter came and asked me if I needed a refill way too often when like my glass is still full and he's asking me if I need a refill. Those are both like negatives.
I think a great waiter is someone, or waitress is somebody who sees your glass and doesn't ask, but comes and grabs it and just refills it, or however they do it.
Really?
That's a great waiter.
So you're just cool with them like reaching over your plate to grab your cup?
I think it'd be better going off of that to go with the anticipation. Maybe not go as far as take it, but to see that you're about to be out and then be like, hey, you want another one?
Especially the where they don't refill the cup and they just bring you a new cup. Just be like, here's a new cup.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you go to say like a breakfast joint, they give you like small cups of coffee. Like it's not a normal sized mug.
Yeah.
It's typically
like
smaller.
Grandma's teacups.
Yeah. So they're refilling them fairly constantly. And that's never intrusive because it's like, okay, even if it's half full, sure, top it off like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I would say a good waiter is somebody who asks if you need a refill, maybe too much, even though it's annoying.
Yeah.
A bad waiter is definitely someone who doesn't come to your table at all.
Who's never back.
Yeah.
I had this one. We were down in, I believe we were in Florida at an IHOP. And so bad. I wanted crepes. Every time I go to IHOP, I always get crepes because the only time I get crepes, we don't go very often, you know. I'm not going to make my own crepes. I'm too lazy for that. And it wasn't on the menu. And I'm like, ma'am, I was like, I'd like some French toast or whatever, but I also like a couple crepes. And she's like, well, I'll see what I can do. Blueberry crepes. She leaves, comes back. It's like, it was not crepes. The cook threw something. He threw something together. I don't know what it was. It was like a tortilla shell with like just raw blueberries in the middle, like not a sauce, just blueberries. And she gave it to me. And you could just tell by the look on her face. She's like, I'm so sorry. She didn't charge me for it because she knew
it was just such an appalling abomination. Like, I can't even charge you for this. I'm sorry.
I don't even know where I was going with that, but man, that's one of my favorite.
Which reminds me, do you remember when we went to, was it Bob Evans with Daniel?
Yeah.
He's like, can I get some barbecue sauce? Just slams the sauce on the table, and it was boiling hot.
With bubbles coming out.
He was legitimately burned by just how hot this barbecue
was.
Wow. It was a shocking display.
I did not think we were going to put that much into that bit of the conversation. But regardless, my question is then, what makes a good movie? And how do we differentiate that from what you would consider? And I think what you would consider is different for everybody. A great movie. A good movie versus a great movie.
I mean, I think a lot goes into, it's going to be different for everybody. I think for a great movie, you got to start with your story. Okay, that's number one, and then your acting is number two on that. And those two things can make a great or movie if you have a good story and good acting and stuff combined. I don't, as far as like just what a good movie is, I guess it's just something you would say that you enjoyed. I don't know, because movies are subjective when it comes to like, oh, I like this one or I don't like this one. I thought this one was good. I thought that you didn't think it was good. They're really subjective. So I don't know. I think, and even great movies, because I would say, I'm Prisoners. Okay. You and I think we both.
You would consider that a great movie.
Would consider that a great movie.
Okay.
Why? Story, dialogue, acting.
I believe that was Sam Mendes too, directing.
Yeah. How it I think also how it makes you feel when you're watching it too. Like, are you drawn into the characters? Are you drawn into do you feel a part of it and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
But again, with that, you could put 10 people in a room and they all have a different opinion on it. Like, I wouldn't say it was great. So I don't know.
I think the only difference for me is what I would separate and classify. Take a good movie and it now crosses the boundary line and makes it a great movie would be its cultural impact. Because there's so many movies, and again, this is coming from a discussion I had about Jurassic World with a guy from work. So many movies you see where they get made, and movies you can't just like make a movie in a day and release it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Some movies take a few months and then they can get it released, or some movies take legitimately years to make. And it comes out in theaters and everyone sees it because it makes money. Jurassic World Dominion made over $1 billion. Everyone saw it. And as soon as it left theaters, no one talked about it ever again. I would say that's not even a good movie, let alone a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it just comes and it goes, it washes over you, and then it's done like a wave. But then you have a movie like Jurassic Park, where that's been out for well over 20 years,
mm-hmm.
and people are still talking about it. People still reference it. People still, get chills by that soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To me, that's what separates a good movie from a great movie. And maybe it's, movies are so subjective.
Yeah.
That when we find one where the general majority can collectively say, we really like this movie, and not in a Zack Snyder kind of way, where his followers will leap in front of a train for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But where the masses legitimately say, no, this is something like Jaws, is another. There's a lot of Steven Spielberg because he's just phenomenal like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even like an Inception, it made such an impact on the culture, whether you like the movie or not. Like, you can't deny that it has presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Dunkirk, and if you like Christopher Nolan movies, great. I mean, they're all phenomenal movies. Even Dunkirk came and went.
Yeah.
And nobody's still talking about it in the same way that if you hear like a wah, you're like, Inception, I know.
Yeah. That's hard. So you're saying you would classify Jurassic Park as a great movie?
I would, yeah.
Because of its, I mean, obviously you enjoyed it. I enjoy it and stuff. So you say it's great because it stood the test of time for the last 20 years. People still talk about it and reference
Citizen
it.
Kane.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. I would agree. I think that has something to do with, that has something definitely to say about it, but like Prisoners, that one's kind of one that kind of came and went. Not many people know about that movie.
I would agree with you. Yeah. If anything, I'm saying, okay, that's a great movie because I personally really like that film style and all his movies.
Mm-hmm. So are we saying that great films are, because you look at Princess Bride, that movie is like a cult classic.
Oh yeah,
I love that movie.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great movie. I would say it's a great film, but it's not like, but again, you got story, but it's kind of cheesy and corny.
But I think at the same time, everything you said and everything I said are both right.
Yeah,
100% right. You know what I mean? Because if you look like a movie like Prisoners, the story is phenomenal and it's terrifying and it's sad. I mean, the content of that movie is sad, but the performances that you're getting from a Jake Gyllenhaal, the performances you're getting from Hugh Jackman are just incredible. Even Paul Dano in that does a great job. But then you look over to the other side of the aisle and you're looking at A Princess Bride. I would personally say all the performances in that are just as phenomenal because they know exactly what movie they're making.
Yeah.
They're not out to make Prisoners.
Right.
They're out to make The Princess Bride, and it's cheesy and it's silly. And if everybody in the movie knows that, that's what takes it from good to great. You know what I mean? And that's how it holds up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another movie like that, like a comedy or like an off the beaten path Coen Brothers movie where everybody in it knows the kind of movie they're making. They're not out to make the next Citizen Kane. They're out to make the next
Well,
you know, whatever it is.
And I think that where we're at when we watch certain films and stuff too has a lot to do with it, or how this film impacted us when we're watching it, who we watched it with, and stuff. Like I think of Oh Brother, you said a Coen Brothers, and I just thought of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I think that's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I remember where I was when I first watched that movie, and I remember who I was with when I watched it and stuff. So that all plays into like the emotional side of why you think it's great or good and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I 21 Jump Street. I don't recommend watching that movie. It's not there's no morally redemption. I enjoy that movie because of where I was when I first watched it, and I think whenever I see scenes and stuff from that film, I think of who I was with when I first watched it and stuff, and it brings back those memories. So there's like an emotional connection to it for me. Again, I don't recommend watching it, but there's an emotional attachment to that film I have with that film. And I think that has a lot to play into what we think is great.
Well, and that's a thing too, which is so great, because I can remember watching Batman Begins and being like, this is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I can also remember, if you were to take me back to the exact same theater, I could tell you exactly what seat I was sitting in when I watched The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, partially because it was one of the worst seats in the house because the place was packed and I got tickets last minute, and partially because it was everything. It was the atmosphere that played into the movie. It was everything. I think another big part of what makes a movie great is if it's doing something groundbreaking that's taking film, you know, from one level to the next, you know, whatever movie, and I can't think of it off the top of my head because I'm not smart enough and I didn't do the research. Whatever movie took silent film to audio, you know, whatever movie that was like, okay, we're going to try this. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, oh, well, we're willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
And it worked. And then now movies are being made with sound as opposed to just being silent films. That's incredible. You know, even a movie like Avatar, which I don't think is a very good movie personally, it's fine.
Yeah.
It did phenomenal things with IMAX. It did phenomenal things with 3D at a time when that kind of stuff wasn't happening. That you can't help but say it pushed filmmaking into a whole new place. And that to me makes it a great movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another one like that. You know, Jurassic Park did the same thing with animatronics and CGI, things that weren't being done yet.
Mm-hmm. The Lion King, Jon Favreau's Lion King.
Not a very good movie, but it broke new ground.
Yeah.
So it's just food for thought, and like, okay, well, what standards are we holding to our movie going experiences, you know?
Yeah.
And then that shapes our expectations, which then shapes how we feel about it when we watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You walk out of a movie being bummed about it. Why? You know?
Yeah.
What didn't work? What wasn't there? Or if you walk in, you're like, oh my goodness, like Avengers Endgame may not be the greatest movie, you know, and on rewatch you're like, okay, it's a little long, it's a little drawn out, it's a little too depressing, whatever. I saw that movie 3 times in theaters. Why?
Yeah.
Because that was an experience. It was like a ride, and I wanted to go on that ride as many times as I could and take different people. Every time I went, I took different people. I'm like, no, come with me. I'll pay for your ticket. Come watch this.
I think about that, like, too, the rewatchability factor of a film is also, I think, something that you can measure greatness of a movie. Like, how often are you revisiting this film? And I think of the movie Eagle Eye. Now, I haven't watched it in a long time, but when that movie first came out on DVD, because I didn't go to theaters and watch it, but I remember when I first watched it, I watched it like 3 times in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I watched it, and then the next night I took it to my grandparents. Was like, you got to watch this.
We were all this Shia guy, he's going to be somebody new. And then the next day he put it back on his head.
And then like, I think it was a couple years ago, we had my sisters over and I was like, hey, you guys ever seen this? And they're like, no, and it had been years since I'd watched it. We put it and we watched it and I was like, this is a great movie. It is a great film.
I really like Eagle Eye.
It's fun. It's action packed and stuff, but it's got rewatchability effect and stuff to it. And, movies that I rewatch every year. I think of like Rudy and stuff. I watch that movie once a year. Like there are Christmas movies I watch once a year, and I'm just like, why? We're just watching this because it's a Christmas movie and it's December.
It's kind of like a trained mechanism at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm going to watch Elf and this movie and that movie.
Yeah.
It's every year.
And they're good movies, but I wouldn't consider them great. Like,
absolutely.
But
food for thought. What do you think?
You guys pretty much covered everything I was thinking of. Because I was going to touch on the fact that it doesn't have to be the best acting, best story, or best cinematography for it to be a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or just because it has the coolest new thing or something that's wild that nobody's done before doesn't make it great of its own merit.
Mm-hmm.
It's the right balance of them and then how it hits you going forward.
Yeah.
It's like, is it a movie that you regularly compare other movies to that you think finally of 10 years later you could watch at any point and still be thoroughly entertained?
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things are what make them for me.
mm-hmm.
I'm like a super weirdo when it comes to movies, though. It's like, I don't just get enjoyment out of watching a movie, because I do. I love movies so much. I enjoy like seeing people's reactions to movies, and like I enjoy watching other people experience movies.
Yeah.
You know, and that is a weird thing to say out loud, but I remember like living at home and watching I Am Legend, and then being like my mom who never watches movies. My mom doesn't. I'm like, you have to watch this. And half the time she's got to look like this on her face. But then by the end, she's like, yeah, that was pretty good. She's like, yes.
I'm that way with music.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I really, really like a song and I want to see how other people feel about it. And then if they get like super gassed about it, I'm like, yes. And
like
if they hate it, I'm like,
some way.
You're wrong. How can you hate this?
Yeah.
There's just no way, because it's the best.
Have you ever been let down though? And I'm sure with music that's a little more common.
It happens more often than not that somebody just doesn't click with it.
Yeah, but like with a movie and stuff, because you're not either you watch it with somebody, that's a little harder to do because it's like 2 hours, or you tell someone to watch it and then they are like, yeah, it was whatever. Like, have you ever been let down like watching a movie with somebody?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
With you all the time. I'll recommend a movie to you and you'd be like, yeah, it was okay. Or no, you didn't like it. I'd be like,
I thought your taste was better than this.
our taste is polar opposites.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny.
That's good though. Makes for good content.
Yeah.
We agree on Prisoners.
Yes.
Did you ever watch Dune?
Yeah, I watched Dune. It was good.
I like Dune a lot.
One movie that I watched was The Departed. And I watched that. And that movie hit, like, the first time I watched it, I was just like, my mind was blown. Like that end scene, like the whole, if you've never seen it.
Yep.
And so Mariah and I were married. We were newly married and stuff. And I was like, have you ever seen this? She's like, no. I was like, you have to watch this movie. Like, you have to watch it. And so we sit down and we turn it on and we watch it and stuff. And it gets to the end. And once that end scene, I know it's coming. And I look at her and I'm just like, I'm watching that. I'm watching her more than I am the movie. And I don't want to, it's been out for 10 years. If anyone's when Mark Wahlberg comes on screen and just shoots him and you're just like, where did Wahlberg come? I forgot Wahlberg was here. It's like, and she's just like, oh yeah. And I'm like I almost, like a part of me died inside because I'm like,
just like a criminal underreaction.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you care at
100%.
all?
I was so depressed when she like just didn't have the reaction I was hoping for. And I'm like, well, I'm never showing you another movie again.
Oh, it's so true though. I remember watching a show. It was the same thing with like I showed Vera Zodiac.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tell her all the time, especially when it's a movie she's never seen. I'm like, I feel like I've overhyped it. Like right before I press play, I feel like the last 2 days when I said we're watching this, I feel like I've completely overhyped this movie.
Like whatever your expectations are, lower them by 3, and
Please, before we start,
please take it down a notch, and you won't be disappointed.
I feel like a couple of things I said yesterday may have been overdramatic. Anyways, what else you been watching?
Started the Dahmer series because a lot of people were talking about it. I wasn't planning on watching it, but everyone was saying it was how great it was. So I'm 5 episodes into that, and it reminds me of Zodiac kind of in the sense that your skin crawls the entire time you're watching it. it is just eerie and creepy.
Evil.
Yeah, yeah, it is. The guy that plays Dahmer does fantastic.
Evan Peters, isn't
yeah,
it?
Evan Peters. Yeah, he does a fantastic job.
What else has he done?
He was Quicksilver in the
That's
X-Men
him.
movies. Yeah.
But it is. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't recommend watching it. It's true crime, so if you're a true crime fan, okay. But there's a lot of homosexual stuff in it, obviously, because he was a homosexual. But yeah, it does. It just makes your skin crawl.
That's another bit of news that I did see, though, is for years the LGBT community was ranting and raving because Netflix gave them their own category.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for queer stuff, here, this is the row.
Yeah.
And every now and then I see the row in my Netflix and I'm like, why are you even recommending this to me? Because I haven't watched any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And because it's all about representation and stuff. They put the Dahmer series in the LGBTQ community section.
Okay.
And they went crazy. Why is this in here? This is terrible representation. Netflix took it out of that section.
Oh, really?
To cater
That's
to.
dumb.
That
It's like,
is
well,
dumb,
I
because
mean,
that actually,
if you want your own
You was a
representation,
gay.
you have to
Yeah.
accept the
Zero
bad
fun.
as well,
Right.
not just the good. Sometimes there's gay guys who kill people too, just like there's straight guys who kill people.
mm-hmm.
I'm far more upset that Netflix catered to them as opposed to just
Yeah.
them complaining, because
Yeah, that's all they do.
and it is.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything else really. I'm trying to think.
I watched the last episode of, and it's not the last one, but the next episode of She-Hulk. I did watch it.
Mm.
This is the one that had Charlie Cox
Oh,
as Matt Murdock and the Daredevil.
how was that?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was by far the best episode of that show. I would recommend you watch just that episode.
That's because you're misogynistic.
Probably there's finally a man in the show.
A man on screen, best.
Best ever. No, they played his character so well, and the dialogue between the two of them was cheesy and
Yeah.
lawyery, and it was just good. It was really good. And then they get to fight together at the end, and they're just like riffing the entire time they're fighting.
I'll have to check it out now.
It was good. It was the only complaint that I have, and I don't know. If you're gonna watch it,
I'll watch it.
I won't. We'll talk about it next week then.
Okay. All right.
Because there are issues that I have with it.
Yeah.
But if you'll watch it, I won't say it because.
Just go ahead and say it. I don't. It is.
Do you want me to say it?
Just say it.
I'm just gonna say it.
Say it.
They have a relationship in the episode.
Oh, okay.
Like there's kindred spirits in that they're both superheroes. They're both lawyers, and you're like, okay, this is going somewhere. And it's in California. He's from New York, but he flew out there to represent someone as a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, look, next time I'm here, we'll go get dinner or stuff. And she's like, and then they just go sleep together.
Because he's blind.
Because she is the most shallow character I have ever seen. All she does, and this goes to the writers, and I'm talking to you writers because you guys suck. You're talking about a character where you're like, men are terrible, men are shallow, men look at all of us as just meat on a slab and not. But yet every time you've had a guy, and there's 3 instances in this show, while she's on the blind date with the Asian guy where that went nowhere, and now with Daredevil, you jump into the sack with them on the first night. You're writing this in the story. You're making her the slab of meat and then hating men when they look at her like a slab of meat.
Yeah.
You're making her this character. It's so lazy.
Yeah.
And all she wants to do is sleep with them because he's like, next time I'm in town, I'll take you out like a gentleman. And she's like, and she just opens the door to the fast track to the bedroom. And he is like, okay, I wasn't going to go that way. It is followed up humorously by Daredevil in his costume in broad daylight doing the walk of shame, which is really funny. But it's just like, why are we the bad guys when she's obviously just like instigating all of it? Anyways, I would watch it because the other stuff is really good, but that is just like, I don't even care about them having a relationship. That's not the part that I have a problem with.
Yeah.
It's just the agenda that I can't stand.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad to see him in the MCU. The fight sequences look very reminiscent to the Netflix series. Like, he's got a little bit different of a costume, and he's a little bit cheesier in like how he's talking. He's not so dark like he was in the Netflix series.
Yeah.
But he's hitting people the exact same way. Which to me matters. Because he's a brutal character.
Is Foggy back in it yet?
It was just him, so
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
Oh, not to change the subject. I did watch.
Off of Foggy?
Yeah.
You watched The Mist.
No. Watched the season 2 of the Mighty Ducks. Came out.
That is a hazy transition.
Well, because Fulton from the original movies is Foggy.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
he has a cameo in this, the first
the
episode.
perfect segue.
The
Look
Bash
at you.
Brothers
I
are
can
both in
see
it.
clearly.
Are they really both of them? The other guy too?
Yeah, they're both.
Oh,
They just
wow.
had a small cameo. They're construction workers, but they do the chest bump thing and like.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, that show sucks so bad. It's like a train wreck, though. I will continue to watch it. I don't know why. I feel compelled to watch it. But this season's got Josh Duhamel in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
Maybe it'll go somewhere.
probably not.
Jinx, you owe me Coke. What else did I watch? I've watched a few things. Halloween's rolling around. So a lot of stuff's getting promoted on like the horror thriller side of things. I know we had that discussion last week. I'm actually putting a paper together that I'm going to put on my website, and like, how are Christians supposed to kind of approach these types of movies?
Yeah.
But I am rewatching a few to kind of gauge how I feel about them. And, you know, I am asking the spirit to kind of guide me and lead me and like convict me on what should matter and what shouldn't, you know? So I think it's really interesting. So eventually I'll let you guys know, and we can talk about it on the pod when I put those up on the website. But
Yeah.
I watched The Village,
Oh, nice.
M. Night.
That's a classic.
It's a classic heap of something, you know? I don't want to quote Jeff Goldblum or nothing, but no, it's not a bad movie. It's definitely one that's like, once you know the twist, it takes out a lot of the drama and a
Yeah.
lot of the tension. The stuff isn't scary when you know.
That's kind of a lot of horror is.
A lot of the
once
Sixth
you
Sense
know the
and-
bad thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that Red Riding Hood movie with?
Amanda Seyfried?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
She's probably the scariest thing in it.
I don't remember.
Like
I remember it being fine.
yeah, like I remember watching it and kind of like, oh, this wasn't terrible, but I only watched it the one time when it came out.
But a lot of it was like, they want me to marry this guy, but I want to marry this guy, I think.
yeah,
I don't remember.
It was kind of like The Village, actually.
Oh, was it? Oh, it was just the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Judy Greer's in it. Scream Queen herself.
Wow. See, we're not misogynistic on the show.
William Hurt, R.I.P. He's in it too.
Yeah.
But that's a decent movie, The
Yeah.
Village. What else did we watch? I watched Ghostbusters. What did you say?
You just completely ignored me.
We're not misogynistic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Everyone may think we are, but I know we're not.
I mean, we've talked about having Sigourney Weaver on here every week.
Listen, Sigourney. Ma'am. Can I call you ma'am? I'm looking into the camera, but I'm locking eyes with Colin.
Yeah.
Goosebumps?
Goosebumps. I didn't watch
Ghostbusters.
that. Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Goosebumps. Have you ever seen Goosebumps?
No. I get goosebumps.
It's late.
There is a creepy Ghostbuster story we have. I don't know if we should tell it.
Sure, go ahead.
So last night I am just flipping through Hulu. Like, what do I want to watch? I don't know. I see Ghostbusters. So I was like, I'm going to turn Ghostbusters on. So I turn it on, start it, whatever. Then your wife comes over, stops by the house, and she sees us on. Today, I find out that you turned it on last night as well. We did not talk at all about what we were watching or anything.
The
And-
funniest part was Vera comes home from their house. She wasn't even over there very long. And she comes into the bedroom, and I'm not even on streaming anything. I'm just flipping through DVDs, and I
Yeah.
put the DVD in. And she goes, why are you turning this on? What are you doing? I said, what?
So angry off the hop.
Just like so, like she thought there was a conspiracy theory, like legit.
You're just
And she's
both
like, "Did you
pranking
talk
her.
to Jehaziel?" And I'm like, "I haven't talked to Jehaziel all night."
Well, that's not true. We talked for about an hour.
Hush. Not about Ghostbusters.
No.
That did not come up at all.
This went from Ghostbusters to Mythbusters. Prank confirmed.
So yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
What else did I watch? I watched another one. And what did I watch?
Probably a movie.
It was.
What has Colin been watching? Have you watched? I mean, while you're
I
thinking.
watched,
Go ahead.
While you're thinking about that, I watched a movie called Moonfall today. And sum it up best would be Armageddon Modern.
Oh,
So I liked it a lot. I thought it was really solid. Not necessarily the greatest in terms of like acting or dialogue, just because some of the lines are kind of cheesy. It had, what was his name? Patrick Wilson, Michael Pena.
oh,
I can't remember his first name, but the older Sutherland was in it.
Donald.
Donald.
Okay.
And Halle Berry.
Okay.
So good cast. And they all played their parts fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool and the thing that stuck out to me, I didn't know going in that this is what it was going to be, but it was on the whole lunar landing conspiracy.
Oh,
So it really played into that, and then the concept of like Dyson spheres and megastructures and the moon is hollow. And
they went all out.
They went all out, and they did it really well. I thought they really sold that, and visually it was high budget.
Oh,
All the effects were really good.
that was who directed that? I believe it's the same guy who directed Independence Day.
Okay,
I believe so.
that makes sense then, because he's done that kind of thing before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole concept of the hollow moon and that it was like the seed of creation for our galaxy. And it was humans who made it. AI destroyed it. Our moon was the only one that actually made it out to seed other galaxies. Really cool concept. Visually solid. And overall, I would recommend it.
Wow.
What
I
year
did
was
not
this
think
made?
it was gonna.
This year.
This
I was
year.
gonna say it came
Okay.
out recently.
Came
Yeah.
out recently.
Okay.
I think it got onto HBO Max last month.
Okay.
I may have to check it out.
I'll have to log into one of your. I don't have HBO Max anymore, so I'll have to.
I think you do. Wink.
You still
Well,
have it.
I do have it. That's right. Oh, well, hello, HBO Max. Where did you come from?
You didn't
On
cancel
your
your
DNA.
subscription. It's a dinosaur.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
We are.
I watched Scream. That's the other one I
Oh,
watched.
okay.
I watched the first Scream movie. Have you seen the Scream movies?
No.
It was many moons ago. I saw at least one of them.
That first one is really, really good. It's much less of just a slasher. Like it's not like your
Mhm.
your Halloweens and things. It is, but Wes Craven went out of his way to. It's a whodunit. You know, you're trying to figure out who the killer is the whole time,
Yeah.
and it's also very. It's good and evil.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Whereas your Halloween is just like evil dies tonight, but evil doesn't die.
Such a bad line.
You know, the bad guy wins at the end of a slasher movie
Mhm.
every time. But it isn't the case. You know, the
Yeah.
hero or the heroine in this case comes out on top. So it's not a slasher movie in that respect. You should watch the first one. The first one's good.
It's kind of like high tension murder mystery.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to check it out.
And they're every one of them. And they're a play on horror movies. So they're like,
Mhm.
this is the part where the black guy dies. And this is the part where, you know, so somebody in the movie is commentating on what happens in a horror movie. And that's what's happening in this horror movie.
Yeah.
Self-aware.
It's really not even that it's self-aware as much as like winking at the camera, but just we all go into these movies knowing how this stuff works. So
Yeah.
when the woman is on the phone and the killer's behind her, you're sitting here going, he's behind you. Turn around. All you have to do is turn around. So there's a guy in the movie who's like, hey, just turn around. That's all you got to do. This is the scene where you turn around kind of stuff. But, and not in a funny way. Most of the time, it's like a serious way. It's a good, it's a good movie. It is. It's not a great movie, but it's a good one. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
I can't think of anything else. The only other things I've been watching are the Colts games, and I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about Steelers either.
No, Bears suck.
Well, we're all in depression.
Nope.
Football depression.
I actually was watching up to like the second quarter of the Colts game, and I turned it off. I'm like, I'm not watching. And then we watched Scream because I wasn't doing it. But anyways, I've got nothing else.
I'm good.
Go
ahead.
All right.
Ready to take us home?
If you like what you see, head over to YouTube. Please hit like and subscribe. Obviously, you're on YouTube already.
Subscribe and like.
And
hit the bell.
Yeah.
To
ring my bell. Share us with your friends on Facebook or wherever social media you have. You can check us out on Instagram. I'm at JZoGood on Instagram. Jesse's running that Popcorn and Coffee.
Why would you do that? Oh, sorry.
And Colin is on
He's a
Instagram.
professional.
And Colin is on Instagram at ColinBG. So yeah, hit us up on there, follow us, like us, message us, let us know what you want us to talk about.
Leave hate comments back those too.
Please leave a couple of those. I would love some.
Yeah. Give us something to talk about.
Yes.
Feel free to say our takes are too spicy or too mild.
Ooh, mild. Spicy.
Yeah. All right.
That's
all, folks.
That's all for today.
Bye.